Dear paper lovers, welcome to this video where I will share with you 5 journaling ideas that are beginner friendly. Before I start this video, I want to quickly share with you why I journal. It's basically because in 2015 I was diagnosed with a thyroid problem, courtesy of growing up with toxic people, and my doctor asked me to find a hobby that would ground me and relax me at the same time, and this was the one that I found that would work for me. So now let's start this video with the first idea, that are backgrounds. Why do I think that backgrounds are a good idea? I think they're a good idea because they help you to start a page. They are very easy to make or to create, it all depends on your creativity. And you can basically do anything, like here in these pages, I did a background by using a stamp and some light ink, and it worked out pretty well. Stamping is a very easy way to produce backgrounds. This one was made with the circular stamp and black ink. And because I added this text from a magazine on top of it, it all became cohesive, so it was very easy to do. This is a beautiful background that I created, and I created it with 2 different types of stamping. The first one that you can see here, it was done by stamping 2 ink pads directly on the page. It was first a yellow one and on top of it a green one. And then to finish, I stamped this beautiful green flower just to give that spring vibe. I believe that this background is what really makes this spread beautiful. In this page, I used the pattern with some doodles to create this background. I remember at the time I didn't have any idea on what to do on this page, so I just started by creating this background, and by the time I had finished, I decided that I didn't want to put much on top of it, so I just added the sticker. Another type of background that I like to do is this one, where I just splash ink on the paper. This is the cover page, so it was very easy to do on this one because I knew the paper was thicker, so it wouldn't buckle. And then on top of it, I just added this prompt, this little prompt. That was a very nice one. I also used the same effect here in this butterfly spread, where I splashed some ink on the paper, and it all came together with the butterflies. This one was also a very nice one. I also like backgrounds because they allow me to frame the page. They allow me to overcome the fear of the blank page and actually start journaling. And they also bring some tension and drama to the spreads. The second journaling idea is collages. If you have seen my flip-throughs, you know that I do collages a lot. So what are collages? The word collage comes from the French word coller, that means to glue. And a collage is a piece of art that is made by sticking various materials together. Here are a few ideas for collages. I can do something abstract and very easy, like these pages, like this, or like this. These abstract collages are the kind of journaling that doesn't require much thinking, and I like to do them when I really need a break. If you look for collages inspiration on the internet, you're gonna find some really amazing art, but the downside is that they're very complicated to do if you are a beginner. I would advise you to start small with little collages like these ones. You can also use collages to express a feeling or a mood. Like in these pages, I've done the collage on the right and I've written a few words on how I was feeling on the left. These are really easy to do, so if you don't know what to do, so if you're looking for an idea for your journal, this is a very simple one. You can do a collage in one page and then on the other page write a few lines about how you're feeling or about where you're at in life. This is a good way to keep track of my moods and feelings and of things that I have overcome. Once you are comfortable with this type of art, then you can move on to create more complex collages like this one. I'm really proud of this collage because it involves a lot of delicate materials like pencil shavings and thin paper, so it required a lot of dexterity. Another great idea for collages are postal stamps. Because they are art in itself, they're going to elevate whatever collage you're going to make. So in this page, I used postal stamps on top of a stamped background, and it all came out perfectly like I imagined it. And in this last collage, I used a lot of papers that I hand treated myself, some that I sew in, some that I punched, and some that I painted, to use different types of texture and create this difference in levels and bring some structure to the piece. The third journaling idea would be to write reviews. I used to do these random one-page reviews here and there if I would consume something that would speak to me, like the Bridgerton series. But for 2026, I decided to have a separate journal only for reviews. If you don't know, I'm a huge fan of anime, and I consume them more than I consume TV shows. I watch them by season, and sometimes I do tend to miss season 2 and season 3 just because I watched the first season and the second season came a year or two later. So what I decided to do is to make a journal about my favorite animes that I keep watching from season to season, and then if I see the name popping up again in my list of seasonal animes, I know that this is one I'm gonna want to watch. And basically it's something very simple. I just write down the plot, the characters, and I make a small review about what I like. Like this one, The Apothecary Diaries, already had 2 seasons, and it was a very good one. It was very well written. I also like this one, The Raven of the Inner Palace, and I think there was only 1 season. I still need to search and look very well to see if they haven't come up with a 2nd season. So these type of spreads are very simple to do. All you need to do is print and cut some images from the show, from the anime, and then write a bit about the plot, about the characters, make your own review. Like for instance, I've already prepared this page. This is one that I'm currently watching, which is called The Ramparts of Ice. I really like this series because it changes from the regular type of high school anime. You can see that the writing is very well done, it's more mature, and it goes in depth what teenagers live through. through high school without falling in the trap of the cliche love story. So I really like how this one was written. So I'm waiting to watch the whole first season to then make my review on the anime. You can make reviews on anything that you consume. It can be TV shows, movies, anime, but also makeup, stationery, cafes you go to, restaurants you eat in, and things like that. The fourth journaling idea would be swatches. I think it's a good idea to have swatches in your journal because you can keep track of the things that work for you. You can do swatches of markers, pens, washi tapes, fountain pens, inks, paints, anything that you work with regularly and that you need to have a reference of. So here in this page, I made some swatches of my favorite markers. They are the gray Ecoline, this faded Ecoline. I don't know how to describe this color, but this is my favorite one because this is the one that I use for backgrounds and to sometimes underline or stressing things in my journal. Then there is this neutral tombow. I really like this color, and a somewhat similar color, but this side with a thicker brush from Ecoline. Then I have listed here all the pens that I use on a regular basis outside of my fountain pens, because the number of times that I've lost these pens or that I left them in a restaurant or in a cafe and then I came home and I was like, my pen is gone. Now I have a reference of the pen and what it looks like on paper, and this can really guide me to know should I really buy that pen again or not. If I've listed them here, yes, I should buy them again because these are the ones that I most frequently use for journaling. Like I said, you can also do a swatch of washi tapes. And this is very cool because it gives me a reference on the type of washi tapes that I still have left for the season. This swatch I did, I think, was last summer, at the end of last summer, and these were the washi tapes that were in my little drawer, and I knew that these were the ones I could use for fall. Then I did something similar last spring. And I also did the same thing for summer. I don't know why, or if it is just me, but I don't click with blue washi tapes. They really need to be something extra for me to buy them. But I'm really on the fence when it comes to blue washi tapes, and I don't know why. For some reason, I'm stuck on my browns and corals. I don't. The fifth and last journaling idea is lists. I know that it might seem peculiar, but I know that I have been adding lists in my journal here and there, small ones, but for 2026 I decided to make them a big feature in my journals. Here are a few ideas of lists that you can incorporate in your journal. You can add to-do lists, you can add wish lists, or bucket lists for the year. That works pretty well when you're setting up your journal, or a bucket list for the month or the season. Here you see me drafting my art list for this summer. It's just a list of things that I want to do that are related to my art, like events and museums I want to visit this summer, exhibits I want to attend, artwork that I want to do, and a few tasks related to my shop. I like to make these lists very aesthetic because I know that I'm gonna come back and read them over and over again. Thank you for watching this video about journaling ideas until the end. Let me know which idea was your favorite in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you on the next video. Bye!